Hey everyone, it's Megan with AboveRubyStudio.com. I am so glad you could join me for today's Tuesday tutorial. Today's Tuesday tutorial, I'm actually showing things that I used in the Love Me kit from February with Club Ruby Designers. Now, Club Ruby Designers has been discontinued. However, myself, Megan Elizabeth, Above Ruby Studio, and Crafty Corner are still working together to bring new kits to you guys. They're just going to be a little bit different in fashion and form. And just going to be a different focus going forward, which I'm really excited about. But we still have some older kits left, such as this one from February, which was only, well, now 2 months ago, because this is the first Tuesday in April. But I wanted to show you guys that the beautiful items in this kit are not just for February Valentine's Day love. They're beautiful for the spring, and I think you're going to get a lot of different uses out of it. I'm not opening this kit. This is a kit that I actually have as a giveaway, and I'm going to do this kit as a giveaway for watching this Tuesday tutorial. All you have to do to be entered to win is share this Tuesday tutorial video with somebody on either Facebook, or share it on YouTube, or share it on whatever. Now, I will be able to see how many people actually share it on Facebook, so that's an easy way for me to check up on you guys if you actually use the share link. But I'll take your word for it if you comment in the Above Ruby Studio post and the page and you tell me that you shared this video. It's just an easy way to do it. That's all. That's why I'm doing it this way. That's a kit that I'm going to give away, and then this kit is still available at craftycorner.com. Anyway, I have a couple of the embellishments. There are some die cuts included, paper die cuts in this kit that are really fun and bright and cheery, and they're great for spring, and each kit gets something different. So this was one that was included in my kit, but it's kind of a mix match of different ones that come in every kit. So you'll get similar die cuts, but it won't be the same in every kit. So just disclaimer on that. I am using the Love Me sheet, the banners paper. Love this banners sheet. It's very bright and fun and great for spring. Has a lot of cute hearts on it, but I absolutely love the big dot pattern on the reverse, which is what we're using for the base. We're also going to be using some of the banners for the page. I'm using a sheet of craft cardstock as my 12 by 12 base. And then I also cut out, I just launched my butterfly somewhere. There we are. Using paper layers, and this sheet is included. This is the Waiting in Line pumped page, and it is included in the kit. And I cut it out using the Silhouette Cameo, the words Egg Hunt 2012, because that's what these pictures were from. So I didn't have any from 2011. I'm not sure where they went. Probably still somewhere in my move. But I had these out, so I thought, well, why not? It's still Easter, and I don't think I never scrapbooked these particular photos. So I'm just gonna remove these. You can see what beautiful cuts they are. They're so intricate and just easy peel. I love this new Cameo. It does cut very similar to the Pazzles. I do like the Pazzles as well. Now that I've been playing with the Pazzles a little bit more, it's really cool, and Pazzles has a cool setup, but Cameo has a really, really great library. It's kind of personal preference, and we'll talk more about different machines later. But today I did use the Cameo, and I used the software it came with to cut out the words Egg Hunt. And let's see, I used what font? This is just a font that was in my computer. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Give me a second. The font that I used was Gabriola. And that is just a TrueType font that was in my computer preloaded. I didn't go downloading anything different for it. I just thought it was a cute Eastery type font that I liked. All right, so I peeled everything off, set my cutting mat aside, and you can see, even though I used paper layers, I wanted everything to be in this pink color, so I cut it on the reverse side. And I just cut it out here, so I still have all this to work with. I could cut out some eggs or different things on my cutting mat later if I wanted to. All right, let's get down to it. Have my photos already laid out. I am going to cut out these banners a little bit, which I'm not doing a lot to cut it out. I'm just gonna kind of follow the line of the natural curve. I'm using my Tim Holtz tonic shears. These are really, really great. I feel like I get a lot of control and cut through a lot of materials with these. Now I'm not going and cutting out every last little pendant of this particular page, but I am going to just come along and remove the major edge and excess paper. So I'm just kind of following the natural line curve of what's already there without cutting into anything else. Okay. Banners and pennants and that stuff is so hot right now in scrapbooking. It's not really difficult to find paper that has, or stamps or anything. I thought this could be really cute. Now I might trim it down and not actually go across the whole page. Let's see where we want this to go. I'm gonna have the egg hunt title go up the side. My pictures are already laid out and they're just gonna go on here. Let's start adhering everything together and see how it looks. Then we can add our embellishments and call it a day with our Easter egg Tuesday tutorial. I am using my Glue Glider Pro. This is the pull push. Right now it's set on pull. If I flip it over, now I can actually push it and get some extra use and extra control out of my Glue Glider by pushing and lifting. So yeah, many of us are used to the regular pull, which is still fine, but you can do both with the Glue Glider purple cartridge, the Glue Glider Pro. All right, let's line this up down here. I'm not quite doing center. I'm doing a little bit off center in the lower right corner of my page, as you can see. This just gives enough room for me to be able to place my banner, which I'm not going to glue down yet. I'm going to save this for very last because I think I'm going to cut it off and just kind of see where I want it to fall. I have my picture of Benson and Genevieve enjoying their eggs, which I trimmed down just to a custom size. I didn't measure, just did it, which I'm famous for. Not measuring. Who needs to measure when you scrapbook? Eyeball it, make it look pretty to you. Sometimes we measure. Okay, and then I have the picture of them enjoying their baskets together and the eggs that they found, and then Benson hunting for an egg. So this is a great way to just tell a little story, a couple pictures on one page, cut to size, and then just bling it up a little bit. Love craft bases. It just works really, really well. I'm going to use my Xyron sticker maker. My 2.25 inch rather, and I'm going to load each of my letters in, and I'm actually going to load my die cut images in as well. It works really well for adding adhesive to each of your cuts. Now I know a lot of people, I also have the Zig Squeeze and Roll and the Zig two-way chisel tip pen, which I use from time to time, but when letters are as thin as this is, you can see how thin this gets in here. I like using my Xyron personally, but it really is personal preference. I do have a tip for removing glue boogies, because that sometimes is the biggest complaint about the Xyron is the glue boogies, and they really don't have to be a problem if you take your time and know a few tips and tricks. So I'll share those with you if you haven't seen me do them before. Make sure your letters are in the right way. I almost put that one in upside down. I just feed them in a whole bunch at one time so that I'm not wasting any space on my sheet. I make sure they all kind of line up, and you'll see when they come out the back, probably a little bit easier, which I think are going to look so cute. Oh, they're overlapping. That's all right. A little overlap won't hurt. These are going to look cute. All right, so there's everything, and you can just kind of see they're all lined up on there. Now, there are some of these little glue boogies. You can run your finger over them, and that will remove most of it. However, I have this little Fiskars tool, which is really cool, and it has a little white eraser tip on it. You don't have to buy this Fiskars tool to use a white eraser tip. Just any pencil eraser tip or pencil eraser like this one. This is just an actual advanced forward eraser that you can pick up at any office supply store, and you just run it over top of your letters and it removes all the glue boogies. There are other tools out there. I just found that a white eraser doesn't harm the letters, it doesn't mess with what I'm doing, and it removes any excess adhesive that we don't want anywhere. So that's my tip. Really that simple. All right, let's glue our pictures down. See, this is set on pull. Couple quick strips. Thing I love again about this glue glider is that the adhesive is really super strong in it, and it's not as big as the ATG gun, which I still love. I feel like sometimes the ATG can be a little bit of a better value for lots and lots of uses, but for just quick everyday and cropping uses, I've been grabbing my glue glider, and you can see my ATG gun is still right here. I still like it, still use it. but I've been using both, especially with this new push-pull function. You just don't need very much adhesive at all. Now the other thing about this paper, and I had this problem, I showed this paper in another video I did. I believe it was for Club Ruby design team or designer members. The circles and the lines don't exactly line up, like they're in kind of a wonky pattern. So if you're trying to use those lines, which I do a lot, I use my paper as my guide, it's going to be crooked. So just watch that, know that, be aware. Just saying. I'm going to do some white stitching around my picture, and I'm just going to do some pretty broad stitches, and I just use a white gel pen. I did post a card on Facebook just the other day, and I believe it was Angie. Now I'm not sure, and I forget who asked. I think it was Angie asked what I used for the card around the edge, and it was just my white gel pen. I use it on almost everything. Once in a while I use my Singer Stitch So Quick, which is my handheld sewing machine. That is really for hemming, and it works really well for doing some stitches, but really I just use the white gel pen or a black gel pen if I want black lines. That's about it. All around this outer edge. I love white on craft paper. I think it looks beautiful. Okay, now let's use and place down our title, and I'm going to go left to right on this, and I'm just going to start right here. And I just eyeballed the size on my cutting screen. I didn't actually measure, which maybe I should have done. I don't know. But I knew it was going to be smaller than 12 inches. So you can mess with size, but I don't have an exact size for you guys. I just played with it until I liked how it looked on my screen. Look how thin that H is. It just cut beautifully. Love it. I'm eyeballing too. Can you tell? I'm not lining this up completely straight, but I think it's going to be okay. I hope, I'm crossing my fingers that it's all going to work out for me. So far it seems so good. I said 2012. It's 2010. The year is now 2012. I do want this going from this edge all the way across, and it's going to cut off there. So let's use some adhesive right on here. And we'll cut it off where we need to cut it off once we get it on the page. And then swoop. And it goes across Ben's head a little bit, but I'm all right with that. You can see where it lands. Flip it over. Try not, I need my tonic scissors. See, I use my tonic shears because I just get so much more control. Those are my Fiskars, and I started cutting into the craft. I don't want to cut in the craft. I just want to cut off my excess. I like my control. Control freak. All right, there it is. See, I really did cut into my craft paper. Now I'm mad. There we go. Do we need a little? Let's use just a little adhesive along that top there so it stays in the corner. Especially at the top of the page, I like my stuff to be tight down there. All right, now I'm going to add my butterflies, which are just adorable. These are the die cuts. And the reason why I didn't use adhesive on them is because I like bending, whenever I do a butterfly, I like bending its wings up a little bit and giving it just that little bit of dimension to it. So that's what I did there. I'm going to press that down. And then this butterfly, I'm actually going to set up here. So bend it, and then I glue just the center down and the antennas down. And this is why I don't like the chisel tip. I feel like if you're not familiar, I'll explain this real quick. If you're not familiar with a zig, the chisel tip I find dries too quick for me. When you use a two-way glue pen, it comes out blue. When it's blue, it is a permanent bond hold. So when I put this butterfly down and I painted it on and it was blue and I stuck it right down, it was still blue. It's a permanent hold. If I would have waited for it to dry clear, which it does very quick when you use this chisel tip because it does such a fine coating, it would have been a temporary hold, and it doesn't hold, it's more of a repositionable. If you leave it on there long enough, eventually it will become permanent, but the point of the two-way is that it's a repositionable hold when you wait for it to dry clear. So just a little FYI there. All right, so there is that part of the page. Now I was thinking of highlighting like one of the photos with these brackets, but what I might do instead is use one down here. I'm going to kind of stick it underneath my paper a little bit. So let's see if I can do this without ripping anything that I already stuck down. I think I can. Okay, I'm going to stick that right there. It already has the adhesive on it. It's just going to give a little bit of an extra accent to my page. Outside of the photos, which I think is cute. All right, this is almost finished. How easy was this? We did this in just a few minutes time. Oh, I'm not gonna use this one. I don't wanna use this one. Save it for another project. All right, so that one's down there, this one's up here, and it just looks awesome. Give this butterfly a little more movement. There's a cute little heart there in the shape there. And that is about it. That was how quick and easy we did this Easter layout, Easter egg hunt layout, using the February Love Kit. Okay, something just looked off to me about this butterfly up here. I don't know what it was. I guess it was just because it was too big. The colors go. It looks a little different. I'm not really sure what it is. So I just decided to remove the butterfly. I like the way these look. But I like the way this was by itself, and I think the butterfly, really what it was is that it's just too big for the top. So sometimes that happens, and whatever. You just remove it and you do what you need to do. So now I have just a little bit of extra space and kind of something that I don't like. So I'm using some twine. This is just baker's twine. This is blue and white, and I have a pink and white, but I liked the blue contrast with this because of the blue in the butterfly down here, or the green. So I'm just gonna unwind a little bit of it, and we're going to use this on there instead, and I think it'll be much cuter, and it's going to give that dimension and just a different textural feel than if I would have left it. So it's just we're gonna wind it around. I'm gonna start right here, and I'm going to use an adhesive square as soon as I can find one. Where did they go? Okay, the adhesive square are in the Megan Elizabeth combo kits. I'm just going to peel off the square and stick it down. I'm going to roll it first. Rolling it will give you just a little bit less adhesive to mess with. It's not like a big glob there, and you can cover it up really easy. All right, so adhesive square there. We're going to wrap this a couple times around, and I'm going to do another one there just to be sure that it stays. And then I'm going to use some Scotch tape on the back to keep it right where I need it to be. All right, so leave it hang out the edge, press it down on the square, press it down on the square, wrap it around your page, and I'm just going to do this a couple times. Okay, piece of Scotch tape there, piece of Scotch tape here. It's all in place. Now I want to finish it off with a couple bows. So what I'm going to do is just loop this around. Oh, there are my kids. And do a little knot. And that finishes off our page. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon at AboveRubyStudio.com. Bye-bye.